Hello, Bang Rasamala. Can you hear us?
Hello, good morning, Shanas. Good morning, Paul.
Thank you for joining us this morning. First of all, the regent of the North Penajam Pasir became a suspect of corruption at the young age of 34. And before this, there was Adri Atma Dwi Putra, the mayor of Kendari, who was just 31 years old when he was detained. Why are we seeing this trend of the corruptors that are being caught seem to be at a younger and younger age, Bang?
Yeah, actually, this is a big challenge for us in Indonesia because, yeah, you're right that there's increase the numbers of young people become arrested in the corruption cases, as well as I get the data that's mentioned since 2004 to October 2021, there were 135 leaders, local leaders, it is mayors, also governors, involved with corruption cases. And from that numbers is 11% of them are young people. It's between age of 29 and 40 years old. So it is quite challenging for us. What I'm thinking is why this is happening is because actually these young people also seeing the senior people, the old people, which is have a position as public officials. They can see how the senior public officials corrupt, and they see that they enjoy their life in wealthiness. And so that's the things that encourage young people also trying to do the same things. And the other hand, that's consistency to enforce the law is also become serious factors to see these problems actually.
Yeah, so it seems to me that it's not really the corruptors, but the system itself needs to be fixed as well. Because if these young government officials are just coming into their jobs, they're seeing how things used to be done. They're just continuing a trend that has already been there before.
Yes, you're right, Paul. Actually, the system is also important. So this is several factors to which is influence how people thinking they want to corrupt or not corrupt. The systems, lack of the system is one of the issues, and the consistency enforcing the laws is one of the issue. Educations, how the young people get the ethics, know about the ethics, the integrity is one of also important. So we cannot spare one of each other. We have to do that in collaborations, together.
Okay.
Bang, is there pressure sometimes on the younger officials? Because, you know, I'll just make reference to movies that we watch. Sometimes we watch movies like cop movies, and let's say there's cops that are in the department that kind of force or pressure their younger ones or their juniors to do what they do. Otherwise, they're not considered as part of the team. Does that happen as well with government officials, where maybe perhaps the younger ones feel a bit of pressure on those that are above to feel like they pressure to do the same things? Yeah.
Yeah, some of yes, like that, but the other cases is showing that the young people is even become a master of mind in the several cases.
Wow.
So let's say is the case of Nasaruddin, if you still remember. Nasaruddin is 33 years old. She was a former parliament members who set up all things in procurements and get benefit from that. He is actually the mind master of this of the offenses. And also, if you remember, Waode, 30 years old, Fat 29 years old, and also the mayor of Tanjung Balai, M. Sahrial, who is still around 30 years old.
Wow.
So actually, in some case, yes, they are in the in the second level, so they get pressure to conduct corruptions.
Right.
But in the other cases, they are sitting as the mastermind. They're setting up the offenses. That's what I see from several cases in KPK when I was there.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, this is surprising for me because as a young, as part of the young generation, I always think you should learn from your seniors.
Right.
You should learn from the older people that are already let's see, right now is arrested and also suspected in graft case and so on and so forth. And I also want to know, if we speak about generation, is the same phenomenon also happening in other countries as well, not only in Indonesia, or I don't know, maybe Bang Rasa?
Well, I don't know. I think in the other countries that, you know, the young people have their role model, a good role model from the senior people as well. If you visiting, go to European countries, how is everybody working, trying to do their best, trying to, as a public official, young people can see how the senior, the older peoples as public officials working to serve the society without any, the material orientations. They just doing that for their dedication to the countries. That's the things that actually it's a little bit difficult to find here. People thinking if they do something, they need to get to earn a lot of money for that.
Okay. Yeah, now
that's the one. Yeah, that's what is the things that it is in our mindset. It should be changed first.
Okay, so it's the nationalism.
That's not happen it's not happening in the other countries actually.
Right, I'm sure as well. Now, another interesting thing to note. You mentioned role models, Shanaz. A number of these corruption cases were actually done by people from the same family. Some examples are Atut Chosia and Tubaguschari Wardana, who are brother and sister. There's also Rita Widiasari and Syaukani Hassan Rais, who is daughter and father. And there's also Puput Tantriana Sari and Hassan Animuddin, who is a wife and husband and wife. So how big does the role of oligarchy play in corruption in regards to perhaps it runs in the family?
Yeah. What you mentioned that, Paul, actually that's become a trend right now in Indonesia. We can see how is the family member become a public official or whatever important positions in the countries following their older family, which is already there. The things is we don't have enough, for instance, regulations to limit the conflict of interest in public officials, for public officials. So that's the one things that should be improved in the futures. The next is also the awareness, which is the awareness about that conflict of interest. If no one's, realize that the conflict of interest will, broken the system the system will not work if all people in the systems have a conflict of interest. So that's, I think that's the problem here, and still challenging is for us to dealing with that things.
Yeah, even without corruption, I think it's kind of a tricky situation when you allow family members and those who are related to be working so closely in government positions as well. Now, we are on the topic of young people and corruption, and we have with us a young person who is not corrupt, well, not as far as I know anyway. We have over there, Dirza is joining us here. You have some questions, Dirza?
I do. It's a form of a quiz just to make this heavy topic a bit lighter. So I will ask a few questions to Shanaz and Paul.
Oh, it's for us. Okay.
It's for you guys.
But
then,
get ready.
But it's a true or false questions. But then Bang Rasamala will decide who's the winner.
Okay.
And whether it's right or wrong.
Okay.
Okay. The first one is in Indonesia, corruption suspects can be sentenced to death. True or false?
False.
I would say false. It seems kind of heavy for a death penalty. So yeah, Bang Rasamala, what's the answer?
It's true.
Really?
Is it?
Wow, shocking.
Has it ever happened?
In the articles, it never happened before. Until now, never happened.
All right.
But in Article 2 actually mentioned if the corruption offenses conduct in the kondisi darurat, so
Okay.
Yeah.
so the penalty can be death penalties.
How about that latest case where
in Bansos, right?
the Bansos, which is the funding that was supposed to help those in the pandemic, and that was apparently there was a corrupt case there as well. Could that qualify?
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, it depends to the prosecutor.
Sure.
If the prosecutor wants to put it as indictment,
Yeah.
then
Okay.
it can go.
It's there.
Wow, scary stuff. All right, there you go.
right.
Surprising one to start, Tirza.
So the law is there, we just need to uphold it.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Well, gratification cases that are reported to KPK can expire after a month, and the suspect will be released. True or false?
I would say
1 month.
false. Like a month seems like such a short period of time.
All right. Just to oppose you, I would say true.
Okay, she's very competitive, so she wants to earn a
I would
point.
say true.
All right, Bang Rasamala, what is it?
Yes, Sanas is right. Actually, people who take, let's say, gratifications, they have 30 days to report to KPK, and they can be released because of this reporting.
Only a month?
Only a month.
Oh,
Wait, so what would be the condition that the suspect would be released? Like if they can clear their name or they can provide proof that they have not been corrupt, then they could be released, or?
Well, actually, the KPK has their parameters to see whether the reporting is not offenses, or it is offenses or not offenses.
Okay.
All right.
So if it, if sometimes people just giving things
Yeah,
to
false
you
information.
without any interest.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this kind of should be reported by the public official to KPK, and KPK can see whether it is any conflict of interest or not. If there is conflict of interest, then the KPK can says the
case.
things and put it as a state-owned.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
I see. All right. That's interesting.
So I'm 0 for 2 here, dear. So I hope you got some easier questions for me.
All right.
All right, we
Number
go to
three.
our third question. New Zealand is the country with the highest corruption perception in 2020. True or false?
I'm going to
The
let
highest.
Shanas answer first.
The highest corruption perception in 2022. I would say it's true.
Yep.
I would say it's true and false. I would say
You
that
cannot answer
yes,
both.
but they are tied at the top. They're
Tied
not
with?
the only country that is number 1.
I think it's true as well. There's more sheep than people. Bang Rasamala.
I'm not pretty sure whether the New Zealand is the highest position or not.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm gonna actually.
So I cannot decide it.
I'll let you guys know. They are, but they're tied at number 1 on the 88 with the score, along with Denmark.
Denmark.
Denmark,
I
okay.
see.
I'm gonna give myself a point there. I kind of.
All right, so you elaborated. You actually did your research, Ball.
I did a little bit of research.
All right.
All right, our last question. Gifting hampers for officials during holidays is not part of corruption.
True. I'm gonna
No.
say true.
No.
'Cause it's just a gift.
Giving
If you gift hampers, like a hamper is just giving
No.
somebody cookies.
Like cookies
No,
and
it's
yeah.
false. It's
You think it's
false
false?
because
Oh.
anything above 100,000 is considered a bribe. Am I right, Bang Rasamala?
Well, actually, you have to qualify that as gratification, not a bribe.
Oh,
Bribe
okay.
is the things is higher than the gratification.
Okay.
Okay.
So am I right or wrong?
Yeah, because you are right.
Okay. But not 100,000 rupiah.
Actually, it's different in different institution that
Okay.
will be a different policy about that.
Okay.
For instance, in Supreme Court, they mentioned that under 500,000,
It's still okay.
you can accept under, it's still okay for under 500,000.
Okay.
But in KPK is under 1 million.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Because I would hate to get a hamper that's under 100,000. There's probably nothing in there that I could use.
Don't be a government official.
Maybe a
Yeah.
bag of coffee. That's about it. But okay.
Alrighty, that's it for the quiz. and
I lost.
you lost. It's okay, Paul. But yeah, back to you guys. Thanks,
All right.
Bang Rasamala.
Thank you, Dirza.
Thanks, Tirza, for those horrible questions. I did not get a single one of them right. So, Bang Rasamala, many people are being caught. There are many being exposed. The internet is out there. We all know about it. But it keeps on happening. In fact, you already mentioned that there is a potential for even capital punishment. So what is it that is what is it that we're missing here? Is it the punishment that is being implemented is too light because people are still not that afraid to be
Yeah.
doing it as it keeps happening?
Yeah, I think as well as I mentioned before, Paul, consistency in law enforcement is important, as well as we can see this. Sometimes we see that the provision from the judges is really high for one actors, but for the other actors is so low. So, and we also can see, let's say here we can see in the TV many of the public official or leaders couched by KPK and then show on the TV, and they still can smile.
Yeah.
That's showing that what happened with them is fine for them. Nothing happened for them.
Right.
Something like that.
There's no regret, right?
That things is really important. The other, also the educations. Young people needs to know about the ethics earlier. They need to know about the integrity, about the honesty. That's important thing to be trained when they are still young.
Yeah.
But again, Paul, we still also need to see the other data from BPS, from the Statistics Center, our National Statistics Center, that shows that actually there also improvement the anti-corruption behavior perception.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. Okay, that's good news.
For young people that under 40 age, they are in the highest position of anti-corruption behaviors based on that survey by BPS. So that's quite interesting because we can see that the young people in the two sides, there's increase in the actors, but also increase in the awareness of anti-corruption.
Okay.
Nice.
So we're seeing a very solid line where you're either on one side or the other. Those that
Yeah.
are anti are very anti, it seems.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And I
Which
think
is a good thing.
when it comes to education, we've read as well that many of these government officials are very well educated, the younger
That's
ones.
true.
But perhaps it's what you mean. It's perhaps the right type of education to instill more of a loyalty, more of a
Yeah.
nationalism within them before. It's not just about book smarts, but about your own what the rights that you stand up for as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And of course, Paul, to improve all the system is also important.
Yeah.
That's right.
Even
that's
if
right.
you have a good will, you have good education, but if you see there's a lack of in the systems that people can use that
Sure.
as an opportunity.
Yes, that's right. And Bang Rasamala, I also want to know about the system in one political parties, because sometimes they tend to have this pressure, as you said, to conduct this sort of practice. So to avoid corruption from happening, what can a political parties do?
Yeah, first, actually, we need to improve our political party as organization. Of course, they need open system for everybody to go as leaders in political parties, and they have to apply some kind of compliance systems internally in the political parties. They put it high ethics as a member of political parties. That's the first thing they need to do to improve the organization. After that, of course, it is important to make sure that the member of political parties, which is produce a lot of public official, which is right now lead us in this country, they need to make sure that their members is, as well as I mentioned before, comply with their what is code of ethics,
Integrity test,
etc. I think that things that the first we need to do, and of course, in the bigger view, actually, we need also to improve our our election system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Importantly, about what is the electoral threshold, some kind like that.
Yeah.
It should be improved for the next.
Yeah, one last question for you. Corruption is bad, we all know that. But in the midst of this pandemic, it just seems so much more magnified whenever we hear cases, especially involving finances, when so many people right now are struggling so much more because of COVID-19. Does the government have any plan, or do you think the government needs to step up the efforts of eradicating corruption even more now that we're in the middle of a pandemic, and what can they do?
Yeah, I think that's the most responsible one. I can say that because before working with KPK, the most responsible institution right now is KPK to dealing with that kind of situation. So what I see is when I was there, KPK has a program with several ministers and also government institutions to some kind of conducting oversight in procurement.
Oh, okay. So monitoring.
In procurement, related with whatever we need for this pandemic. For instance, the vaccine and also the the medical protections for the our doctors and also our medical labor. So that's what I know when I was there, but I don't know whether it's still running well or not, or is there any obstacles for that. But again, we still know that there's a case like Bansos, as well as you mentioned before, that that's showing that still a problem with that. So it still needs improvement day by day. But what is your question? Do the governments through KPK has a program? Yes, they have a program before, but I don't know whether the implementation is running well or not. But again, there's still, we can see from the TV, there's still a corruption case related with this pandemic situation, of course.
All right.
Yeah, no, the fact that I see it two ways. We see a lot of these cases, especially now on TV, that it can show two things. It shows that there is still a lot of corruption out there, but it also shows that the KPK is hard at work in eradicating these. That's why we're hearing about so many of these currently as well. And in regards to the pandemic, I do agree that these steps do need to be taken, especially when it comes to procurement of vaccines and things of that sort, because it's so much more important now. Bang Rasamala, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You were once the head drafter of regulation and legal products at KPK's Law Bureau, so you certainly know your stuff. Thank you so much for sharing with us and allowing us to pick your brain on this topic.
Thank you, Bang Rasamala.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Sanas. Thank you for inviting me.
Stay safe. We'll talk to you again soon.
Safe.